How rap artists got their name. Too rich for regular. Rap artists discover their onstage persona in the strangest ways. For some, it's a sentimental throwback. For others, a nickname or a character. Sometimes there's a deeper meaning to the origins of rappers' names. Other times it's just the first thing that came to mind when recording their first song. So how did these famous rappers get their names? This is Too Rich for Regular, from rap to the streets and everything in between. But before we get started, if you're here for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button below and join Too Rich for Regular. We're uploading all the time, so don't miss out. As usual, we save the crazy for the ending, so stick around. This is How Rappers Got Their Name. Kodak Black. Kodak Black was born on the 11th of June 1997, and on that day he was named Deuce and Octave. When Kodak was 6 years old, he was nicknamed Black or Lil Black. When deciding on a stage name, he used his childhood nickname as the foundation for his professional rap alias. So where did the name Kodak come from? Well, as everyone knows, Instagram is the social media platform built for the purpose of sharing pictures. So, when Kodak joined Instagram, the next logical step was to put Kodak in front of his childhood nickname Black. After all, Kodak is a household brand spanning 120 years, and it is indisputably one of the most prominent names in photography. Everyone knows Kodak. Interestingly though, Kodak isn't fond of his birth name, and on May 2, 2018, 1 month into serving a 364-day sentence in prison for weapons and substance charges, he decided to change his legal birth name. A Florida judge reportedly permitted Kodak to change his birth name whilst in jail, from Deuce and Octave to Bill Kahan Capri. Kodak's lawyer, Bradford Cohen, stated that, in the face of his current troubles, Kodak was simply looking for a new beginning, and a name change was a way to do that. Of all the choices you can have with a fresh start, Kodak went with Bill. While it's unclear why Kodak chose the name Bill, there is a story around the origins of Kahan. Kahan is the Hebrew title for priest, and during his incarceration, Kodak met a spiritual leader named Priest Kahan. The priest introduced Kodak to a Hebrew Israelite doctrine while behind bars, and the rapper found affinity with its teachings. Priest Kahan preached that the name Kodak Black was associated with negativity, the two reportedly speaking about it at length. While he opted to keep his stage name for continuity, his change in spirituality prompted his name change. XXXTentacion. The name XXXTentacion doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, and while it is difficult to pronounce, its etymology is surprisingly straightforward. So how did Jose Dwayne Onfroy decide on his X-rated stage name? Onfroy admitted that the X was the only unknown numeral to him. It's a variable, like the wild cards and the unknown. Temptation is Latin for temptation. Put them together, and XXXTentacion means unknown temptation. When asked why he chose to use 3 X's, he said, "I don't really know. It came to me, I guess." Then he goes on to explain that when he was younger, he was obsessed with X-rated films, to the point that his grandmother wouldn't let him use the bathroom anymore. So there we have it. His juvenile porn addictions led to the birth of XXXTentacion. Sadly, X was shot dead at 20 years old as he was leaving a South Florida car dealership. At the time of his death, he was also facing more than a dozen felony charges, and prosecutors had accused him of witness tampering. Nevertheless, XXXTentacion's legacy lives on. Prior to his death, XXXTentacion wanted to make up a new word, and evidently, he had the qualifications to do so. His new word was Gekumi. He explained the meaning of his new word via a video on his Instagram, where he stated, "I am in the next Gekumi of thinking," meaning next universe of thought, or a different state of mind. The late rapper's former girlfriend gave birth to his baby boy, and X specifically chose this name for his firstborn son. His family honored his wishes and memory, welcoming Gekumi Onfroy into the world last year. Lil Uzi Vert. It may come as a surprise, but Lil Uzi Vert wasn't named that way at birth. Born in July of 1994 in Philadelphia, the future rapper was named Samir Baisel Woods. The rapper shot to fame when he featured on Migos' song Bad and Bougie, which reached the #1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100 chart in January 2017. Samir started rapping when he was in the 10th grade, when he and his friends formed a rap group called Steaktown. It's speculated that the rap group Steaktown was named after their home city of Philadelphia, which is known for their Philly cheesesteaks. Lil Uzi's original rap alias in the group was Vertical. For Lil Uzi, the name Vertical was significant to him. because it was a metaphor he used for shooting to the top of the rap industry like a vertical jump, and that he did. As it is with a lot of artists' names, over time the name devolved. It appears that 3 whole syllables of vertical were clearly too much, and people started calling him Vert for short. As the years went by, Lil Uzi developed his own distinct rap style, and it was the catalyst for his final stage name, Lil Uzi Vert. After one of Lil Uzi's high-energy performances, he was approached by a random guy who said to Vert, "You rap fast, man, like a little machine gun, like a little Uzi or something." That was the defining moment, and from that day forward, he lengthened his name to Lil Uzi Vert. The best part is that Lil Uzi believes that this random guy who suggested the name change probably has no idea that his comment inspired the name of Lil Uzi Vert. Childish Gambino. Donald Glover is a man of many talents. Many would recognize him as Troy Barnes, his character from the hit TV show Community. Glover is diversely gifted and moonlights as a comedian, director, producer, screenwriter, DJ, and somehow finds the time to be a superstar rapper under the stage name Childish Gambino. Is there anything this multi-talented MVP can't do? As it turns out, he does have a weakness, and that is selecting a stage name for himself. Legend has it that one night in 2010, Donald Glover was hanging out and drinking with some of his friends, and they thought it would be funny to put all their names in the online Wu-Tang name generator for fun and see what it spits out. Glover recalls the exact moment in an interview, saying, "We were putting them all in, and they're all funny and stuff, and then mine came up and I was like, you guys, it's not funny anymore. This is something big. I just really liked it." To this day, you can go to the Wu-Tang name generator and type in Donald Glover, and true to his word, it generates Childish Gambino. When Glover was seriously considering Childish Gambino as his rap stage name, he talked to RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan and told him that his very own name generator came up with Childish Gambino, and Glover really liked it. RZA was absolutely on board with Glover using Childish Gambino as his rap alias, and he said to Glover, "Yo, it's like that computer had a brain, because you were childish, but you could also murder someone." Not that he actually could, but for Glover, he liked the contrast of Childish Gambino, because the name to him was simultaneously silly and serious. 6 years later, Gambino admitted that he may not have stuck with it had he known he was going to be this successful. Youngboy never broke again. Kentrell Golden is a man of few words, but he's famously known as Youngboy NBA. The NBA apparently stands for Never Broke Again. And while the Louisiana rapper started from humble beginnings, his success makes being broke again unlikely. But how exactly did he come up with his stage name? You ready for an exciting story full of depth, insight, and meaning? Sorry to disappoint you, but on one of his various house arrests, Youngboy was staying with his cousin for 2 months. At that time, his cousin suggested adding NBA, which stood for Never Broke Again, and Youngboy was sold. That was it. Originally starting his rap career as NBA Youngboy, he changed it to Youngboy Never Broke Again as his popularity surged, to avoid any copyright or legal issues with the actual NBA basketball league. DaBaby. DaBaby's birth name is Jonathan Lyndall Kirk, and he was born in Cleveland, Ohio. His family relocated to Charlotte, North Carolina when he was 6 years old. During adolescence, DaBaby's life was headed in a very different direction. He was living the street life at the time, getting involved with gangs and petty crime. Eventually, thug life lost its shine, and at 23 years old in 2014, DaBaby had an epiphany. He'd realized that the street life wasn't his purpose or calling in life. Deep down, he felt like he needed to be doing more. This awakening provoked Kirk to turn to music, so he could positively influence and inspire people around the world. Fast forward a few months later, DaBaby had released his first mixtape in 2015 titled Nonfiction under his original stage name, Baby Jesus. As Baby Jesus became a bigger and bigger hit, Kirk changed his stage name from Baby Jesus to DaBaby because he feared it would be too controversial. Ultimately, he didn't want his stage name to offend anyone or make people feel reluctant to listen to his music. DaBaby wanted both his music and message to be accessible to all age groups, from kids to grandparents. He dropped Jesus from his stage name and kept Baby because in his mother's eyes, he had been DaBaby his whole life, being the youngest of 3 brothers. DaBaby signed to Interscope and issued his first album, Baby Baby, in January 2019, and he hasn't looked back since. The soft rebrand of his stage name was probably a very wise decision because he is now at the top of his game. You made it to the end. Thanks for stopping by. We hope you've enjoyed today's video. Did you learn something new? Did we leave something out? Let us know. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, subscribe, or both. Let us know in the comments if there's any other crazy topics we can cover in future videos. This has been How Rappers Got Their Name, and you're watching Too Rich for Regular. See you next time.